1 minute. You don't go TikTok? TikTok. Hi, and welcome to SGM Media Live on YouTube and Facebook, and welcome to the Wednesday edition. We now how to go inside the Republic. Well, I want to say welcome to now all for joining us this evening, and I want to say if you're just joining in or if you don't join, sharp at 9 now for share and subscribe to the two platforms them and the TikTok platform as well if you have the chance to do so. If you're not subscribed to any of the platform, I will ask you to please do so, because we get for the come with programs there now on a regular basis every other week, so that people can go able for be engaged and know exactly what's in the happen inside the Republic. Well, today is just about news updates and review of things that will happen within the past couple of days in Sierra Leone and in the diaspora, and what we feel to say need for be brought forward to the attention of the people of Sierra Leone all over the world. Well, as we all know, there's a huge drama going on in America. There's a drama going all over the world, and that drama did not cease for exist, because again, as the world they evolve every other day, dramatic things are happening, and some of them dramatic things that also they happen and need some element of attention within our community. So today is none other than any of the other day than the we Sierra Leone media. They talk about some of the issues that will affect we as Sierra Leoneans them and Sierra Leoneans them all over the world. So if you're there watching, please don't forget to subscribe to our platform. Well, today I get few things that I want to talk about, and one of the most important thing within our list of discussion today will be the Mohamed Kalon saga, and also the incidents we happen where they unfold right now with Zainab Sharif, where now one of the young, well, the newest kid on the block for Sierra Leone politics, and we don't see the kind verdicts with them passed against them due to cyberbully, and they've been giving her a sentence of 4 years and 2 months. I don't know whether them go down consider some of the time already being served, because she's been remanded almost for like 2 to 3 months now, and that's for be part of the sentence if she's really going to serve the 4 years 2 months. So maybe they put the 2 months day for the time we don't serve, we not the 2 months. So basically it go able for say, well, I be don't serve 2 months already. For me time we don't give me for 4 years and 2 months. But we try for look around the thing then we surround Zainab in sentencing, and whether it's justifiable for make you go through that amount of sentence day for the crime that she was allegedly asked or they say commit. Because as far as we know, as Sierra Leoneans, them living in the diaspora, there are so many other things than we they affect Sierra Leoneans than the diaspora. We people they need to talk about that much, and I feel so they need a huge amount of relevance within our community for the people that are aware of some of the things that really happen. I will start off with the that there is no positive. So they cannot say they start off with the positive. There is no positive. And this weekend has not been too busy. Kids have gone back to school on Monday, and today is Wednesday. So I believe I'm on Tuesday, sorry, and today is Wednesday. So I believe most parents don't go back to their normal schedule of school runs. It's very important for us in the diaspora. We know exactly what's in the meaning of school runs. And summer is just around the corner. We've got a mixed weather. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. Like today was very shiny this morning, and all of a sudden it's rain. So basically, that's the English weather for you, very unreliable. They can say people in London unreliable just like the English weather, but I will disagree with that at some points, because I believe anybody they deal with the English weather, I know exactly the nature of the English weather. Sometimes it is stable, sometimes it isn't. So we don't able to understand and live with that reality. It's a very harsh one, but we don't have a choice. We have to just live with that reality. So today I'm going to talk briefly about the cyber law in Sierra Leone and what in the cyber law means. So we practically might have to go back into the document itself and look at the thing that we then create. We're surrounded by the cyber law in Sierra Leone. Cyber law means crimes that are being committed online. And we don't see, I think it was after 2018 election, during the first few years of 2018. So it's 2021 to 2025 is when the cyber law was actually passed. 2021, I think. So basically, then Skyfall changed the structure of what in the cyber law supposed to be. Because in those years after the election, there was a huge amount of discrepancy in how people hold government accountable for some of the things that we government really do. And governments realize they cannot be held accountable for some of these things. So they have to pass a law where we reduce the amount of things that people might be saying against governments, and especially government officials, or specifically ministers, or people that already work for government institutions. So the cyber law is not practically in favor of civilians, is not practically in favor of the people of Sierra Leone per se, but is primarily safeguarding the government workers them and government officials then waiting at the top end of government, because that will be specific. Because if you are at the other end of the government institutions, then not necessarily means you're not important, but it means your relevance towards certain issues the way they affect Sierra Leone is not much of an importance to the government of Sierra Leone. So except if you're a government official and you play an active role in government institutions then. So the cyber law was reviewed and reintroduced for protect government officials then primarily. So some of the strategies the way they bring camp for me they implement was not in favor of the locals. It was primarily in favor of the people who already work for government. So basically, I'll go on for a look. We'll go briefly into the cyber law. I know it's a huge document, and I've been trying to get hold of it within the past couple of hours, but there are lots of other documents related to it where we go possibly talk about. We see the use of civil societies has gone down the drain, and when civil societies cease to exist, then there is going to be a lot of other issues the way the everyday citizens of Sierra Leone or of any country are going to be faced with. Because the civil societies are always there to police government institutions them, or institutions the way they run within any country for hold them accountable. Some of those areas will be focused on human rights abuse, discrimination at work, labor enforcement rules that we go get against the workers that we sometimes they work for any institution or any private sector. So the civil societies are formed to primarily monitor the administrative structures of institutions in any country, whether be it politics, private, or public entities, the way they operate within that region. So there are various types of civil societies. There you get the one the way they deal with human rights abuse, you get the one the way they deal with domestic violence, you get the one the way they deal with bullying, you get the one the way they deal with child labor, you get the one they deal with gender, you get the one the way they deal with so many different sectors of civil societies than the way they exist in any nation. And then you get the one the way the political arms of civil societies, the way they hold government accountable for certain things, the way government do. So that is why they form civil societies. So they call them civil society organizations, them, or civil organization them, which means the people that were involved in those organizations are not particularly aligned to any political party in that particular country. So it means they are just there to serve the people of that country. People that really suffer some elements of disadvantage or advantage being levied against them. That is why they form these civil societies organizations in any country. So they are primarily non-governmental. They should be primarily not aligned with any political party or institution for any form of lobbying or anything else. They should not be seen as organization structures where they work hand in hand with government institutions, them, or where they work hand in hand with non-governmental organizations, them, or where they work hand in hand with private sectors, them, or where they work hand in hand with public sector establishment, them. So they are set or put together primarily for police any administrative structures within that particular country. So the reason we make I emphasize on some of them things here, so now for build up to the main topic of discussion we want for me to talk about today, because I see a lot of things them they go all over social media. People are talking about Zainab Sharif being arrested over the past couple of months, and she's been denied bail roughly about 8 or 9 times, or even more. She hasn't been given the right to bail, even though she's not of any flight risk or anything like that. And we've seen this happening consistently over the past 2 months or so. And people were not paying much attention initially when it started. And then all of a sudden, then get some kind elements of concern now being raised by almost everybody, especially women. And the reason why I say especially women, now because we see a couple of women organizations, them a handful, we come out and begin express concern about the situation. I know let us start with Zainab Sharif. Like I start with Mama Kalam, because Zainab Sharif is only long. But I go to come in between at some point, even though I need to deal with your issue first. Oh, and I don't want to deal with your issue first. And we all see the drama unfolding behind the Sierra Leone Football Association, the sacking of Mohamed Kalong, the silence of Mohamed Kalong for the past couple of days before eventually he put a post out to say he will speak to the nation about the issue where I feel say he encountered with the SLFA and the NSA, and he was caught in the middle. So we don't see all this drama don't unfold within the past couple of days, for almost a week now, or 2 almost. And we don't see Kalon Eon's side of the story. We don't hear what he say. We don't pay keen attention to some of the details the way he highlights during the message. I want people then take a step back and look at some of the things that have been said about him, whether be it positive or negatively. His character has been tarnished. Today I see another post where say the players were not even happy about him anyway. They wanted him to go, but they are happy. But Kalon your interpretation of that is not so much of what I see today of late. So there has been a lot of issues surrounding his sacking and why he was sacked. To cut a long story short, I think he also mentioned, say, he knew that he was going to be sacked. He made a couple of resignation attempts and he was stopped by somebody. We say, no, hold on, wait, it's not going to happen. Just patient them and work with them. So in that case, if you are working for an institution that don't really want or like you, you have a choice to make, and that choice will be in your best interest. Did Mohamed Kalon make the right choice and wait to be sacked, or he could have resigned a bit earlier when he wanted to, but still been convinced by somebody not to resign? That would have been even more controversial, or maybe it wouldn't have been controversial. The reason why I play on with the scenario of this particular one is because people might say, well, why you resign and not don't sack you it? True. Then now people might say, well, you for don't resign before then sack you. Again, it's true. Pardon me. So in your position, what you me for don't do? You for don't wait let them sack you, or you for don't sack yourself, you resign. Because when you resign in a position, it means you're living with some elements of dignity, which you still will be able to preserve. Say, but I may resign anyway, they not sack me. Again, when sack me, I resign because I'm not fit to say they're serious enough. I resign because I'm not fit to say they are capable enough to be able to manage the way how I am for bring things on the table. So it now depends on how people interpret you when you resign now. Whether not jump before them push you, be it anything, but at least you get some elements of sanity, some elements of integrity we don't preserve for the fact so you know it still and sack you. Because when they sack you, it's different. Because it will go down on your records to say you were sacked for opposition. And sometimes people will struggle to find out exactly why they sacked you from that position. Sometimes people don't really have time about thinking why we were sacked. People just accept it and move on. But the point I want to make clear, now the fact say, is this a witch hunt against Mohamed Kalon, or is it a scenario where if any self-winning is supposed for they cut in between NSA and the SLFA? Because you have three arms right now. You get the National Sports Authority, you get the Sierra Leone Football Association, and then you get the Ministry of Sports. So these three parties are supposed to be running the affairs of Leon Stars as the national team. Who is responsible for the national team? It's another question that might want to ask the public. So basically, if you know, please drop in your comments on the comment box on Facebook and YouTube, and even on TikTok if you can. Because if we don't know who runs the Sierra Leone football national team, then it is a problem, because it means we're going to be having this problem even going forward. So we need to find out, whether on records or off record, who is actually in charge of the Sierra Leone national football team. Is it the Ministry of Sierra Leone? Is it the Ministry of Sports? Or is it the Sierra Leone the National Sports Association, the NSA, or the Sierra Leone Football Association, the SLFA? That's a very serious question, because if we don't know who that they run the national team itself, then we will find them very difficult. Because when you look at the Mohamed Kalon scenario, there was a huge discrepancy between who employs and who pays, and who employs and who pays and who fires. We don't know who is responsible for making all of those three decisions. Okay, who are responsible for the employment of the national team coach? Is it the Ministry of Sport? Is it the NSA, which is the National Sports Association, or the SLFA, which is the footballing body of the Sierra Leone Football Association, when are the body of Sierra Leone Football Club. Okay. So the reason why they ask all this question, now, few reasons where Kalon highlights, say he's caught in the middle of these two people. And we all see the role where the Ministry of Sports play in this particular incident. But because the Ministry of Sports is supposed to not be the referee for this matter, that's my opinion. And the reason why I say the Ministry of Sports, I know you talk about the minister specifically, but the ministry itself, for don't be the referee on this issue. Meaning, they are responsible for these two entities. The National Sport Association, when are the NSA, when are a body when they form under the Ministry of Sports. And then you have the Sierra Leone Football Association, when are the SLFA, when are an independent body on its own, sponsored by FIFA. So the reason why they bring this question, because the Sierra Leone Football Association, we're sponsored by FIFA, is a FIFA-led organization. We not get nothing for do with government affairs. We government not get no role for play in it. It's a separate entity. And then you get the Ministry of Sports, when are they responsible for sporting activities in Sierra Leone. That are the Ministry of Sports. And under the Ministry of Sports, they created a wing what they call National Sports Association, which means it's not just about football, but it covers all the sporting disciplines in Sierra Leone: football, cricket, basketball, netball, rugby, anything West Alone they play where they participate by in sport, athletics and all this rest. Boxing, table tennis. So that is the responsibility of NSA, which is the National Sporting Association. So they have the responsibility of looking after entire sporting discipline in Sierra Leone. A body formed under the Ministry of Sports. So NSA should be answerable directly to the government of Sierra Leone under the Ministry of Sport. Not to SLFA. Not to SLFA. But are they working collaboratively or they are working as separate entities? That's the question we possibly haven't been able to get answers for. So in the capacity of Mohamed Kalon, who was the national first team coach, I expect him to be signed and worked in with his backroom staff. And in backroom staff does not necessarily need to have any form of qualification to that extent, because they are not the ones responsible for the coaching of the national team. If he gets a backroom staff, when a backroom staff where he believe in, where he don't work with some team in other various different capacities, them either as a club manager or as anything for do with football, and if he say he comfortable for work with them people and then will deliver for them in the kind of structure we want for implement na the Sierra Leone Football Club, we na the Leone Stars, that's his right to do so. But saying that, he also get the same right for work with the existing body where SLFA don't put together with sometimes being they exist. Because sometimes SLFA might not want to dismiss all the entire structures of the SLFA structure we're responsible for football or the national team. So SLFA might have some elements of backroom knowledge and then get their own backroom staff they wouldn't always use, where they are stationary backroom staff for a certain implementation when there is not a decisive coaching structure where they, for example, right now we don't know that are the caretaker, because we understand so they call Musa Kalon for can be caretaker, we who definitely know for saying nothing for happen. So as of yet, right up to today, to my knowledge, I don't know whether there is a replacement or there is somebody who is acting in that capacity of Mohamed Kalon for now. Taking into consideration, we don't have any pending friendlies or any pending international waves, something will happen in the next couple of days or weeks. We don't know who is in charge as of now. We just have the vacant and empty space we possibly open for either employment, or it open to review for see whether Mohamed Kalon will take in position back or not. But like I asked the question, who is responsible for the Sierra Leone national team when are the Leone Stars? Because if the NSA say that they're responsible for employ or not the lead for lobby for make the Sierra Leone Ministry of Sport employ Mohamed Kalon, where was the Sierra Leone Football Association? Were they involved in the recruitment of Mohamed Kalon, or they were not involved? That's another question. The third question, when Mohamed Kalon was given the opportunity to be the head coach of the Leone Stars, in contract with Ngam, he said he not sign him because there was a discrepancy into Uda for pay. So now look at this scenario and see whether it will be a scenario where you will take on board very seriously, or you will not even take it seriously at any given point in time. Mohamed Kalon is a household name in Sierra Leone, and he don't serve as a captain for the national team. He don't play na Italy for three different clubs, and we know see the one we end up with na Inter Milan, and he don't also play na France for Monaco, and he don't come for trial na also na Crystal Palace, but that didn't work out for him. And he don't play few other side away. I'm not going to be 110% sure of. So he's not just a footballer. He's a footballer with experience. A footballer with enough experience where might give him the capacity to become a manager, a football manager. So we all see say he don't go do in coaching licenses them, he gets in certificate them, he gets in coaching badge them from various different coaching disciplines them, and he gets in UEFA Pro license from Europe under Italy where he play. That true day he able for use and gain that qualification there. But is qualification that of a problem for him to be sacked, which is what they flagged up first, and they also flagged up say, well, he need to take press conference, so that's another issue. Again, there is no legitimate points behind that for corroborate the story of what in SLFA possibly been they say in regards to him not taking interviews and not doing press conferences before and after matches. So now we want to look at the details, whether this now witch-hunt, or it was a gang up against him, or it was a gang up between the SLFA and the conflicts really between them with the National Sports Authority, or now between the three parties involved, NSA, the Ministry of Sports, and then the SLFA. So we have to look keenly into all those areas and possibly decide maybe on our own terms and say, well, okay, would have been responsible? Why didn't sack him? Why did not be done call him and discuss? Which I think they did, and they begin for change in backroom staff. Then for say, okay, we don't want to make you cover this post. You want look you sack that person. We don't want to bring this person. But hello, how do you expect somebody to operate with a backroom staff that he hasn't worked with before? So you're basically just setting him up to fail because you get people the way you believe in. So if they sign Alex Ferguson right now, say Alex Ferguson, we want to make you go be the national team coach for Leone Star. Do you expect him to go and work with the backroom staff with Leone Star again? Hell no. Hell no. Because I believe say every manager in the world gets a backroom team where they work with. Football manager. Even me, in terms of the production, what they do, if I go say, okay, they want for me to go shoot a movie na America, I would like to take my team with me because that's the team I've worked with. They understand me. They understand what we do. We've worked together for decades. So they know the structure. They know the language. They know the body language. They know how we communicate. They know how we get things done easily. They know where our strengths and weaknesses are for them to be able to back up each other. I'm not going to go begin impose a production team. Okay, but these are the production team where they work with. We know how to make you bring your own. I will ask question, why? Why? Who are they? What have they done? Can I work with them? Am I okay with the way they work? No. But if I don't have a choice and I have to work with those people, then yeah, maybe something I go say, well, fine, no problem. Let's find a way how we go work with them and get things done properly. But if I can't at all, they don't really fit the criteria of the people that I have to work with, I will just not take the job. So I will have to make a decision of not taking the job, or if I do take the job, I will dictate what I want to do before I take the job. I will dictate possibly who is going to work with me before I take the job. I will make them understand, say, well, the reason why I want to work with them people there, so that for X, Y, and Z. If they choose to say otherwise, then that's fine. I don't take the job. If they accept it, fine, I take the job because I need to bring my team with me that I'm very comfortable. But how can you expect a football manager for not getting backroom staff where you believe in, where you believe for work for, where you understand in structure and game plan? It's difficult. Very difficult. So in that case, before we begin our challenge, the decisions that now we make against them. And I know say make we challenge them because we get for challenge them more. They should be able to come and maybe defend what Mohamed Kalon said about the whole structure, the whole idea behind his sacking, or then just let them be and don't really give a toss. Is that what is going to happen? Because at the end of the day, we haven't seen any swift response. I haven't seen any swift response to the Mohamed Kalon message of what he highlights about the reason why they sack him. And maybe we're not expecting any response because we don't hear already what's in the 2 or 3 parties that were involved don't say. But to me, there's a conflict of interest first with the director of NSA and Mohamed Kalon. Because when I say conflict of interest, I don't expect you to be the personal lawyer for Mohamed Kalon and then you be the back for him and you lobby for him for make it become the national team coach. I think you should have left that one for somebody to do it, not being led by yourself, because it's a conflict of interest. So I will think in my own capacity to say, well, sometimes maybe now when you party and you want for pay him this exorbitant amount of money or something, now when you party, now make it fit to say name best fit for the job, even if he's qualified. But you still have that element of compassion for him. Now make you feel say for lobby for him. Because now you clients anyway, something that's the way of you also making money. I don't know, I'm just assuming this now. So we have to be very mindful of how we create employment for people that we know, because it's conflict of interest. Now that your interest has been dismissed, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to fight for him, or are you just going to sit back and say, well, it's okay, now the employer don't sack you? But you were the recommendation for that employment. So what are you going to do about it? Even though you say you haven't been informed about it, you just say, like everybody else on social media. So that tells you how much that these people don't work in collaboration. Because if the SLF want for sack Mohamed Kalon and then the director of NSA only get for Yeridande on social media, it means they don't communicate at all. But that's not a picture Kalon painted. Kalon painted a picture to us like he has a good relationship with all these people. They talk well, they communicated well. The other day he said he was online with one of the officials then for like every other day until 1 week to the match, and 1 week after the match they still will be talking about strategy and possibly post-match production. So this not the message we in get, and this not the thing we in highlight, and this not the concern we in raise for say he feel gutted that he was sacked. I don't know whether it's because he's not feeling too bright, but he was almost in tears at some points of in discussion where we talk to the people there. Because you see say he's not really happy. This is something that he may wanted to carry on to do because he believes in it. But did he put himself in a position to be strong enough to deal with some of this backlash we don't come so against him? Because that's where the question is. Because if you cannot stand the backlash, then it's a problem going forward. Because again, you're going to be faced with maybe the worst. But if you can deal with the backlash of this particular incident, then it makes it a little bit easy for you to understand the nature at which this they go. But the people that we Colombia they work with, I think they are one of the most credible civil unions then within the profession. One of the most credible. Of course, we know in track record for him brother Musa Kalon, we know how far he don't take the junior Leon Star in tournaments. So that is of no doubt of his caliber. And then of course we know say in other brother than responsible for the goalkeeper coaching, and he justified the reason why he thinks his brother can do a better job. Yes, not his brother, but I think he justified the reason why he thinks Kemokai can do a better job in that department, because Kemokai is a man that can pinpoint where he wants to pass that ball and he will get there. Kemokai is a man that has the precision of directing the ball where he wants it to be. And that will be one of the best person fits to coach the goalkeeper, because it will teach him all their skills than they, because the structure we Kalon have for play with, not so bamboo. The goalkeeper for be very comfortable on the ball. It will be like a sweeper for the defense. Somebody where they come and clear everything we drop behind the defender there. So that's how much impact those two individuals might be playing in the backroom team we Kalon puts together. Although we all be the front at and say, but now so saying why normally you go take, why not if I don't choose other people? But now you see the reason behind why he chooses them. Yeah? So that should not be a minus on his side. It should be a big plus, because these are his brothers. He get control of how he go talk to them, and because now in family member they're not able for abide to him and make sure say he succeed. They will not actually have any form of grudge against them or try for sabotage them, because I'm big brother there anyway. So that to me raised a lot of other eyebrow for say what went wrong in that area. We make the neighbor foresee the input of them people there, so for making decide for just get rid of them all at the same time. Paul Parker, of course, is an outstanding player. We don't been at Europe for a long period of time, and he got a track record for scoring goals for Leon Star and even for a club. But now one of the one that we're not fortunate for actually make him super big now the footballing scene because of injuries. But he has been one of the most prolific Sierra Leone strikers on records. I don't know my way then say Uda don't score passer, because I get a player we say now he still hold the record for the highest goal scorer for the national team Leon Star when Abdul Cole. So then they go down to question, because I'm not 110% sure whether Paul Parker is the second. Is it the second highest goal scorer after somebody with a name? But and the boss with a name not to be Abdul Cole anyway. So I will go back and check and see whether Abdul Cole still hold the records for be the most outstanding goal scorer for Leon Stars. That will be checked later on. But if anybody know, please put it down on the charts so we're able for discuss them as well. Right, so if the Mohamed Kalon saga ends the way how it ends, so what is the nature of Sierra Leone football going forward? Do we have a specific group of individuals that have made a decision just to come and run the national team the way they do or the way they want it to be? It becomes like a personal property to them, or they want to use it as a tool for achieve their own goal? It's the question. Or we need a national side we go able for make a difference in Sierra Leone getting into competition, then win a national competition, then we for actually represent the country. So we have to think about who runs the national team and why. Because it's very important for me to go back and forth with the same idea of saying, oh, now this person is responsible, begin push the blame on different people then. It will be either a joint responsibility or a sole responsibility by either the manager, who is responsible for the team selection and making sure that the team gets a structure in their buy to and play by, or now the SLFA responsible for the problem with the happen, or now the NSA responsible for the problem that happen, or that the Ministry of Sport now is responsible for the problem that happen. So these are all major factors that will play a great role for highlights who is responsible for running of the national team Leon Stars? That's a big question. So we'll wait for the answers. Now, it not sound too clear to me, like for say, Mohamed Kalon don't give up the position. With the way how he talk on that day, it not really sound too clear to me, like for say, he don't really give up the position. It sound like for say, well, I have been falsely dismissed or unlawfully dismissed. I will not push to say I want my job back, but if it's given back to me, I will take it. Because I've already worked on it. I've already built a platform. I already made a foundation that I would like to complete. So it not sound like for say he not interested in the job anymore. It not sound like for say he will never take it again if he's been given another offer. So that is my next question. Why Kalon don't make any decision like for say, well, I am not coming back here. I am not interested anymore. I am not in any way, shape, or form ready for negotiators now for make we amend this problem, because that is what everybody is pushing for right now. So as far as me concerned, it not show any sign of saying I am not interested, but is also not showing any sign of saying, oh yes, I am interested and I would love to come back and continue the work that we have been doing. So let's be very mindful of how they dismiss Sam for say, oh, well, non second, so that's look for somebody else, because he might still want to get the job and he might still want to finish what he has started. And on records, it said Nain gets the highest points them being raised by different tournaments them all over the world with Sierra Leone participate on. But let's look at it from another different perspective and say to ourselves, is it about point scoring or actually the team is doing well? That we have to consider and think about very closely. So look, we not come into just quick conclusion for say, oh, when I Kalon I ain't make them sack him. No, not just come into quick conclusion for say, oh, when I'm false or in the way I behave or the way they act, make them sack him. Because it will not be a fair judgment. Because when we look at in statement, the way they don't make, and the other statement, the way they fly all over the place, they are not the same. It's quite different. And the difference is huge at some point. So, how can we manage the situation now going forward? Are we going to say to ourselves, make Kalon come back? Because I see many people want to protest for say, oh, you should take him back. He's one of the best that we've ever had. In backroom staff, now one of the best. Okolo could take him back. Now mistake they make. And I see many people pleading again. Again, this big thing right now, it gets to me too bad. You have to beg for what? You have to beg for your job that you're so good at. They should be begging you to stay. So I find a very difficult way at the Yagi people and they say, okay, look, we'll go talk to SLFA for me and see why they go take Kalon back. But he didn't do anything. So why you for go find the reason why they go take him back? SLFA for accept say either they don't make a mistake for do an informal dismissal as usual, or then take full responsibility and say sorry and then get the man back for continuing job. Because to me, it makes sense. People when they say, oh, look, we'll go talk to SLFA, or look, talk to the minister, or look, talk to the National Sports Association. You don't have to. We don't really need to. Because Kalon is highly capable of doing what he's supposed to be doing. So why do you need to beg for him to be able to be reinstated again? No. I don't think anybody should be pleading on his behalf because he hasn't done anything wrong. So why you go beg for somebody who don't do wrong anyway? Yeah. So to me, I feel say they should find a way to mitigate the situation with the Mohamed Kalon drama and get him back either for continue the work, or somebody get for come publicly and apologize and say sorry to the nation for what they have done. It's a mistake and it could not happen again. It should not be repeated anymore. Period. And that's it. Maybe things will change. Things will be better. But if they begin to say, oh, for go make them take them back, begin big from XYZZZ, I totally disagree with that. I don't think that will make sense or that will work at all. It's either he comes back and take up his job from where he left, or they find a replacement. But we don't see another rumors going around or somebody will come out and talk say, oh, Salon no gets nobody will be a coach for the national team except some foreigner. I question that. And I question that greatly. And I get a few reasons why I question Andy. Because I will give you an example. The Ghanaian coach we take the country to the World Cup has been sacked, replaced. Okay. To some extent, it don't suffer with the team. Because I know say during the Nations Cup na Ivory Coast, he was part of the coaching team. But he made Borussia Dortmund for some time as the assistant coach, but he been for left the and come coach the national team. And they not do very well anyway in the Nations Cup. But then he continue. After if you don't say they return back to Germany, they continue within league. I don't know how they managed for convince and for make him come back to Ghana and coach the national team and take them to the World Cup. But now they are saying he's not a good coach, so they should sack him. So there was a huge campaign against him 2 weeks ago. And he got sacked. But who influenced that sacking? Is it the authorities that are responsible for sports, or that the sporting journalists then we don't like no more if they see the need for soccer? That's another question. So let's look at the Mohamed Kalon case and see how best we can able for make people understand, say, this is an ongoing drama we don't exist for the past couple of years between the NSA, the Ministry of Sports, and the Sierra Leone Football Association. Because it's been a crisis for a long time. And this crisis haven't been able to be resolved. So it continues to happen. It becomes like a visual sequence of things the way they happen now with the national team. We don't go far, and then you see a stumble block, boom, all things collapse, you start back from scratch. So we always starting up from scratch. I don't know the reason why I'm behind it, but I think it doesn't make sense. We should be able to move on and develop from Usaud or left. But no, we are quite the opposite. So look, we treat the Mohamed Kalon case very seriously and see exactly what thing will be the next outcome of the Leon Stars, whether then they take them back, because at the moment in time there's preparation going on for the World Cup. Again, we're not going to qualify for that day, but we might be able to qualify for the Nations Cup according to Kalon in analysis of where we are in terms of standings and where we will be if we bank ourselves with a couple of internationals. So yeah, that makes sense at some point. But at the end of the day, you are already preparing the road for your successor, which possibly, likely, maybe I won't do. But if that's the way he wants to do it, fine. So let's look at some of the things they will go recommend in terms of going forward with the Mohamed Kalon situation. One will be, let's find out exactly why he was sacked, whether he was a witch hunt by people or whether because they believe say he's going to be of threat, or they believe say he's doing well and they don't want to give him the credit, so they have to discredit him by sacking him. Or it was justifiable for him to be sacked because he not get the right credentials them, or they not know that he pay him, 9 million sack him. Or it's primarily out of jealousy for other parts of the structure they were responsible for football against them. We all know say he not been support the current president of SLFA. So we never expect him for me and be best of friends, but we know for sure no more. He has mentioned it that he's got a very good relationship with every single one of them. So in order they feel say they will turn around and sack him the way they did, even though we don't aware about that like a month ago. So we'll come back to him as we go along. But look, we shift now to the other big issue when at the Zainab Sheriff saga. I'm not gonna stay too long tonight because I think I know I'm for boner for too much tonight. So Zainab Sheriff, again, them passed verdict against her, and they gave her a sentence of 4 years and 2 months. But do we have a justified reason why that amount of sentence didn't get? There is always a threshold for sentencing for various different crimes in various different countries. I don't know what is the threshold for Sierra Leone, because if you are in this part of the world, it depends on what type of crime that you commit. But if they give you multiple sentencing, then maybe you could serve them 100 years plus. If the charges they weighed against you, then pile up plenty different charges, then they will pass your verdict on each and every one of those charges. And if some of them put them together, it will be like a 15, 20, 30, 40, some even up to 100 years. If they put all the charges them together and then jail you and give you your sentence. Is it the same with Zainab Sheriff? Is there a mandatory cap sentencing scheme for some of the things the way now law and way in the break now salon? Because some country then get life for murderer, then gets maybe 5 years for assault, sometimes then gets 7 years for grievous body assault, sometimes maybe then gets 6 months for petty theft, pickpocketing in the streets, sometimes maybe then gets a couple of years for massive gang robbery. So then gets various different sentences in them for different crimes. Then we're at the threshold of their sentencing. Is it the same in Sierra Leone? It's another question that we should be asking. And if it's not the same in Sierra Leone, waiting at the threshold for the sentencing of criminals in Sierra Leone in terms of the different categories that I don't highlight. So that's a huge challenge, because we get to find out exactly why them pass that sentence judgment there against them. Is it based on the crime or based on what? Because the crime, to speak, is a cyber crime. Cyber, yes, like I say, now cyber crime. So basically what that means, now crime it commits on a platform where I think be either they live or even they say something we possibly they share. But one notion like a public place, they make the statement we make, and does that statement warrant an arrest? It's another question. And if it does warrant an arrest, what should be the minimum time they will keep anybody we make or say an abusive statement? So maybe the first gentleman, what would be the crime that he may have committed, and what would be the sentencing for that crime? So the new cyber law gets a lot of twists and tangles. Then they're not able to actually interpret to the people of Sierra Leone, understand and proper one. Then just pass the law and then left them. Explain what's not the consequences of some laws. Then if you break them, then just put it on paper quietly, then publish her, and they not even make a public document domain. Because even when they gazette them, and obviously they take long that the gazette record or archive for make the able for take them out. So basically they will have done it swiftly, quietly. They make no public announcement about them at all, and then it just come, it exists, they die out again. But that's not what we want. We want things to be very much open in the open, so that people understand exactly what's in the rules and regulation of the cyber law. And the cyber law, it gets some kind of twist and tangles that we are free to say, if we don't be careful as Sierra Leoneans, every one of us will be caught in it. And if we are caught in it, they will take advantage of it and imprison us for nothing. Maybe not for the crime you committed, but for the fact that you are who you are. And if it is for the crime that you are who you are, then it is not straight, it's not correct. It should be based on the crime that you committed, not because of who committed the crime. Because the same crime where they arrest Zainab for, so Boku people don't commit that crime in a salon and they get away with plenty. And they get away with it. So we got to begin think why this particular one. Is it an example that they want to set for, say, well, not Sky Amo? Because anybody will Sky this, that the consequences of down the 9 you get for go through if it's Sky. So it looks like a message, either a positive one or a negative one. So we get to decide whether we want to toe the line of that message there or we don't. So now make I go to few of the brief them about the cyber law. Before I do that, let's talk a little bit because I describe for friend the rights pages then we get for do with the thing they talk about so right now. Salon is a very interesting place. Very, very interesting place. If you don't know what at the WhatsApp, you just struggle. So why is this the load? Let's go back to the story. We don't see how Zainab don't handle this situation from the day where they arrest him. Again, it was a surprise arrest, and she was at the gym, and then just bump into the car park and say sorry, or you're wanted for questioning a CID and blah 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 blah, just like that. Although they say there was a warrant for her arrest, but again, how can you put out a warrant for somebody's address that you haven't actually, say the person there, don't serve on the letter of the warrant of arrest. You just kind of must say, well, there's a warrant of your arrest, and then you put them on social media. That's not a norm. So if you do manage to do that, I don't think that is right. You should be able to reach out to the person individually and serve him that letter of someone for, say, if we're going to court, if we're going to appear to a call with the judge, magistrate, or the police inspector for talk to them about. So if you're not making yourself available, then they will declare that person to be a wanted person because you don't abscond and you don't fail for attend an appointment with the judiciary or with the police. So now breach of contract, then you automatically be a flight risk or somebody for trust, so then go deny you bail. Is that the case in Zainab's situation? No. Okay. So now that is not the case in Zainab's situation, what really happened? Again, he make a statement, and the statement was read she said, if you, then all you now again where you commit a crime of rigging election 2028, therefore kill you and kill your entire family. If you commit a crime of any nature like rigging the election, specifically to the election, then for kill you and kill you family there, picking wife there. Okay, that might sound like a drastic statement, but that statement is not directed at anyone. No one. Because if somebody can tell me that statement was directed to any individual, then the individual has to be able to deal with it, either because it's fact or it is not something that individual wants to get into. So look, we bear that in mind. If you haven't rigged an election for 2018 and 2023, you should not be worried about a statement like that. But if you have, and then you find yourself to be in a position that you cannot defend yourself, then it becomes a serious problem. So that is what Zainab has been faced with for the past 2 months. And we all see what's in that happen at the social media platforms then with various different commentators, the way they're online, where they talk about this particular issue. We all have our own reservation about Zainab. Not all of us think highly of her the same way as somebody else would think highly of her. So that elements of maybe that doubt dating are some people in mind, not all man go like you, some man go hate you, some man go like the way they do things, some man go feel jealous because now you, why now you always they take the limelight. Everybody has various different reasons for like and dislike. And as much as it fall in that category now, because in a human being, so back we all fall in that same category. There's not man go like we. But it's how often we say not get for make and comfortable, not get for make people like you or not like you. But if not all man like you, then you have to deal with that. So that is what Zainab was faced with. Again, she may have come out to be somebody that is very loud, or you need to talk below in voice. You always want to get involved. She thinks she's all that. Yes, she is. Yes, she's capable of doing certain things. Yes, she's able to do a lot of stuff which some other people need able to do. So in that regard, if you're able to know, say, it could be a little bit of a target to anybody who feel threatened by her. Where sometimes maybe I go understand a little bit. But it don't threaten anybody. Does anybody feel like they are not safe even if she's not around? That's a question. So if you feel say it take you joy, it take you glory, it tighten you space where they are, then you have to think about how you fix that problem. And then secondly, they have set the standard. As in the government of Sierra Leone has set the standard. Is that the right standard to set in terms of what will happen to you if you say something that is offensive to somebody? And this is down the road where you're going to be going soon. So we got to think, because maybe the judiciary is biased. It's just looking at one side of the coin and not the other side. What to make they say so? Because the judge know for sure say this particular case is a case of interest, and not just interest of everybody, but specific individuals they will deal between our communities. Yes, it will be an interest of APC, but not much so. But also it will be an interest of the general populace. And if we think about the general population, we will get interest yonder. We will look at it now where we will directly look at, say, well, fine. This is whose interest? In what capacity is the judiciary operating under? Is it the interest of the First Lady or interest of the President? Who may have influenced the judgment and why? Why not 6 months, not 1 year, but 4 years? Now, somebody mentioned to me, say, well, sometimes maybe they don't want her to participate in the next election, which might be true. And if that's true, it means she will still be in prison before 2028. So that means she won't be able to participate in the next election. Or maybe they did pass the verdict for disqualify her because she may have had a criminal record. And these are all some of the things that will be at your disadvantage if you want to be a flag bearer of any political party. You should have a clean record and you should not have been an ex-convict. So if they pass this verdict against her and something they make it serve for 1 or 2 months, then they release her, it means she's never going to be able to be a presidential candidate anymore. Because for various reasons. One, as a flag bearer, you should not have anything that will stand in your way, like a criminal record. Again, you're going to be holding the highest office. If you get criminal record, then they ignore you. Then you can't begin embezzle and thief government money. Nobody will be surprised because they employ an actual thief. So these are some of the key elements that you have to look at. Because if we don't and we just ignore it, it's going to be even a bigger problem. Because the big problem now they get now, the fact say people might be sitting down in their houses and they've been asked to go and report where? To the nearest police station. Why? Because you've said something about something that is not correct. Towards who? Oh, a government official. That's what the cyber law says directly. So if you're sitting down there and you're thinking, what if I walk down the road and just say to this minister, I wanna come, I wanna get out, no, not serious. And that minister, they find them offensive. You'll be arrested. Yeah, that's just like that. And they will arrest you because that individual does not feel comfortable with the statement that you've altered towards him or her. And then what happens now next is the fact that you'll be charged, maybe, or you may not be charged. And if they charge you to court, are you going to appear in court to defend against what? So me say, if the crime is against the state, who is the state? The state starts with the first gentleman and filters all the way down to the layman. But we have state apparatus, which will be government institutions. Judiciary, which is under the legal judiciary, will be the arm way responsible for pass the law and make them law. And then you get the other arm way responsible for disseminate when the police, the way the work they do, even different from the work they're supposed to do. And policing of the rules and regulation of either the constitution or within the cyber law says. But has that been interpreted wisely or properly? That's another question. So when you look at the whole Zainab saga, you can tell primarily say either this is the witch hunt or is specifically being designed to shut people down. Why? Because we are now approaching election year. They want to maybe reduce the amount of tension that we're going to come up for certain people that we're not afraid for talking the truth. And to me, what Zainab said is facts. Now the truth no more I say. Maybe something the way how you say the truth go offend some people and for be offensive. Yes, which I strongly agree with. But sometimes maybe the offense with that particular thing that they offend them is nothing. If they say, well, okay, all the one that we don't chief election for die. Yeah, that sounds like an extreme statement. But guess what? Sometimes when you calculate all the things that they happen and you put them together, you go realize, say, is it really worth it for 4 years? No. Is it really something that you should be sentenced for? No. So what do? You go back and ask the question, who is representing who and why are we in court in the first place? It's a state's judgment. So we look at the state representation. What in the states they claim say Zainab don't do wrong? I haven't seen details of that yet. I just hear say rumors about what's in there, say you do and what he say. So what are people going to do about this is another question. I now see many social media organizations or platforms that are online are pleading, oh, look, we beg for him, made them left farm, look, we beg for him, bone, a young girl, you get Peking, you get this, you get that. But I don't see it from that angle at all, from my own point of view. Because one, it just shows how biased the people of Sierra Leone are. Number one. And I go say why I say that. Now, because the people of Sierra Leone, Zainab has not been the first woman that has been arrested for cyber crime. We don't know all for this long. We don't see so many other notable names on the list, and we see what's not the outcome of their arrest and the outcome of their release. Is it the same momentum way it been get away and be arrest them and people in wait still and sentence them before the momentum begin increase? Why do people not take it seriously initially when it start? Now because not to be in business. If you're a civil union and you're not concerned about the arrest and judgment being passed against Zainab Sharif, you should think again, because you are possibly likely going to be the next person. True. Because you might not even know what you will be stopped for and arrested for, something maybe in civilian if you're there right now, either for holiday or on a business trip or any kind of reason. Because that's the state that we have lived in now, the state of fear, wherein people don't have a voice to speak up with an opinion that they have, wherein people don't have the confidence to question people in power, where people don't have the audacity to ask questions because they will be arrested, where people don't have the right to freedom of speech, where people's vocal cord has been cut off. And it's getting very serious. And the reason why I'm saying it's getting very serious, now the fact say we get for begin look at the implications of some of the arrests they are so, and the examples then we this particular government want for set. It's not just to reduce the tension on holding government accountable, what is to put a total blockade to them. And if we say, like we sit down because I not belong here or there, it's a big problem. Now, many people are saying, oh, what in APC they do? APC not fight for them, APC not talk for them, APC not do A, APC not do B, APC don't do C. Okay. But APC is a political party. Yes, we possibly may have known, say, Zainab, they come for vouch for be flag behind APC. But let's go back. Let's do a reflection of Zainab Sharif over the past couple of years since 2018 to date. Yeah? And me, I don't like hypocrisy, because to me it don't make sense at all. You cannot be an hypocrite to yourself and then all of a sudden they begin say, oh, what's in APC they do? Okay. Zainab has publicly criticized APC over the past couple of years and was possibly aligning herself to SAPP. So people will not even show where she belongs. And people will be thinking, oh, well, Zainab been out in APC, SAPP. Okay. But I know for sure that's 2018, before the election, Zainab was with APC. She may have not come publicly and declare or work or do anything, but I know she was involved in some of the areas of PR for APC. Many people might not know about that, but it was clear cut in the corridors of powers, where all possibly many people knew that she had contract to do stuff, she had contract to do X, Y, and Z. So she was one of the beneficiaries for APC as a political party during 2018 election. But all of a sudden, she decided to go solo, or she decided to go against. It's all good. Nobody is telling you to be one-sided in your opinion or not to all other people accountable. But in this situation we find ourselves right now, you tell me what's in APC for do. Because APC have not been 110% aligning themselves with Zainab. Yes, even in the platform, APC platform, where he make that projection there. Yes. But do APC as a political party aligning themselves with her? Is she a member that has a party carrying card? I don't know. So we possibly go to expect the party for maybe issue a statement towards that, something it will able for help ease the situation a little bit. And the reason make they say so now, because if people are asking questions, what's it make the party not do nothing? They should be also be able to ask questions to say what's in the party for do, and why the party not do nothing. They could not just be one-sided and say, well, Zainab not be APC, so what's in the party don't do? Okay, what if you flip the coin and say, well, Zainab not woman, what's in woman organization and don't do? What have they done? So that's another question where you go flip and ask. But again, we don't want to go down that route. But guess what? If he comes to that, then we should go there. So to me, ABC not get for feds for all manners alone. I don't think so. I don't feel say ABC for physically feds for all manners alone. No. ABC is the opposition. As far as me concerned, ABC not exist for me because not in the opposition. The power they get now within parliament number is stop and then constituency the way they operate as individual MPs or maybe councillors or mayors. But there are other issues then where very important where APC go deal with within their party structures. Yes, they will protect their own membership. But when it comes to the responsibility of the people of Sierra Leone, it is not under the mandate of APC. APC is not responsible for Sierra Leone at the moment in time. Now SLPP. So if anything go wrong, why they turn and ask, say, what the APC they do? What the APC for do? Let APC go for SLPP? No, they can't. What the APC for do? APC for go pull people and for go march for Zainab Sheriff? No, they can't. And they may have their reason why they haven't done that. But like I said, I don't know whether Zainab Sheriff is a party carrying member. Has she got a party card to represent her to say she's APC? I don't know. And if Zainab in the carry party card, which I am not 110% sure of, APC will have made a statement. Primarily confidentially saying that. But if Zainab they carry a party card as a member of the APC and the APC hasn't done nothing, is a big shame on them. A massive big shame on them because they should be able to protect their own. If that person carries a party card, it means it is their obligation, their primary obligation, to stand alongside that individual and defend that individual in the interest of their party first. And then they now look at the other human rights abuses the way some other person they don't undergo. So I keep saying to people, why are the old APC accountable for this particular incident? They are not responsible for the decision that was made in court. They were not the one who asked Zainab to make the statement. So we got to be very mindful how the old party accountable for some of the action the way they happen at Salon, because APC is not in power. So everybody think anything will go wrong at Salon, the APC for make noise. No. Why? What do you mean the APC for make noise for all three that happen at Salon? The APC they in power. The APC they in power. APC is an opposition. An opposition deals with political issues the way they affect the country, primarily within the confinements of the constitution and the rule of law. I'm not saying they should not jump on some of these things. Yeah, they can if they have the capacity, if they have the manpower, if they have the resources. Of course, they can do that. But if they don't, and it is not going to be in their interest to be able to fight all these battles, why do you think they're going to do it? They're not going to be able to do it. I mean, you ever see Labour or Conservative right now, they go take Labour on our court for what? Which example I go give? Picking away they go riots in the streets right now. They do. They ask them, say, well, sorry, these kids are actually terrorizing the community. What is the government doing about it? Again, we see where Kush be the rampart in Salon, where Kush be the coach problem in Salon. APC as an opposition put out a statement. Why is the government not doing something about combating the use of drugs in Sierra Leone? We see how many APC and then got arrested for challenging the government for the drug abuse within Salon. That is their duty, because it is not dealing with an individual, it is dealing with the holistic people of Sierra Leone, general people of Sierra Leone, not just an individual. So that is where APC will come in as an opposition. If cost of living is getting higher, APC come in as an opposition and say, hold on, Papa government, why are we having a huge increase in cost of living? That is where they come in. And I think they have played that role in the past in various areas of concern. So we cannot be putting the blame on APC all the time. What the APC they do? Hey, the opposition quiet. What you want me to do? Make them go fight. Make them go riot or protest. If the country is being held hostage, and the people of Sierra Leone are held hostage in certain areas, then yes, APC can come in. I mean, politically, APC should have done something for the 2023 election and 2018 election, especially 2023 election, but they have failed to do something to protect the votes of the people of Sierra Leone that voted for them. Huge mistake. We hold them accountable for that. Nobody can escape that. Whether you agree or disagree, APC should have defended their votes by any means necessary. If you therefore go down to violence, so be it. But guess what? They were not prepared to do that. Their leadership at that particular time, no one forfeits nobody. They were not ready to go down that road. So that was a different ballgame. They have failed in executing their duties as a political party to uprise for an injustice being used against them. So if they fail to do it at that particular point in time, and then individuals are having personal political issues, like I said, I haven't seen any strong evidence to back up the membership of Zainab Sharif as APC. Until I sit down there with me, then I go begin hold APC accountable for why they haven't done nothing in making sure that Zainab have justice. But I don't see that evidence dates. So APC then duty now for talk in favor of the people of Sierra Leone when things are going the other way, which I think they have done in the past. And for this particular incident with Zainab Sharif, the people that will lead this particular issue are civil societies. Where are they? There are lots of female-led civil societies in Sierra Leone that cease to exist. I'm being specific. Lots of female-led civil societies in Sierra Leone that cease to exist. Whether female organizations and women they fight against gender discrimination, whether female organizations and women they fight against abuse of women, whether female organizations and women they fight against domestic violence against women, whether female organizations and women they fight against human rights abuse towards women, where are they? So look, not begin pointing finger at APC as a political party. There are civil society organizations that should be leading for injustice of individual Sierra Leoneans and group of organizations or structures of Sierra Leoneans that are actually facing either persecution by the government authorities or persecution by anybody who fits in power. That's the role of civil societies, but do they exist anymore? Big question. Because if they do exist, then they should be playing active role right now as we speak. Because they should be the one leading the front for injustice if they feel to say this is not justice being given to Zainab Sharif. Now then, for they lead that battle day. But as far as I'm concerned, are they doing it? Do they exist? I mean, I don't want to see individual women doing it because I've seen a lot of individual women doing this. Kudos to them. No disrespect to them. But where are the organizations? Where are the organizations? Where are the civil societies? Where are the female civil society organizations that do exist in Sierra Leone? Oh, then just they no more for jump on the bandwagon for success stories, then for make themselves get likes and rating on social media platforms. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? When there is a dramatic error being will happen as hello, no man jump on her. Now they tell you see all the female organizations making noise about things that they should actually go on the street for, but they don't. They just sit on the social media platforms and execute. I don't think that works. I don't think that would be meaningful to any female organization that exists in Sierra Leone. And we have lots of them. We have majority of them that are leading organizations. But we don't see the organizations. We see individuals. Possibly those individuals are talking for themselves, not representing those organizations. Yes, I saw one or two or three of them all making the same statements towards what should be done, what should have been done. And they are saying, well, it is not justifiable for the sentencing of Zainab Sharif for 4 years, 2 months. Some are not in favor. Some said it could have been better for a release before we get to this stage. And some were begging, which is what I also differ. You cannot beg. What are you begging for? What are we? We are not going to be a nation of begging when they have abused our human rights consistently, and we are still begging for us to be pardoned for what crime? A crime that does not really matter, and they call it incitement to create chaos for 2028 where they fire under. Let's be honest now. Or is the government guilty of committing a crime in 2023 and they want to commit the same crime for 2028? That's why they're getting upset? Let's be honest. Come on, please. We have to be realistic and be honest with ourselves. And let's look at the real story of why Zainab is behind bars. What's the real story behind it? Is it to set an example? Is it to silence other individuals that might think to do something of that nature? Let's really think about the issue why she is behind bars today. And taking it into consideration, she has been denied bail like 7 times or more, which is also an infringement of her human rights. Because you cannot deny bail to somebody who is of no threat to state security, who is of no threat to flight risk, who is of no threat to the people of Sierra Leone and its institutions. Why would you deny bail to that individual? She's not been accused as a terrorist. She's not been accused as somebody who can operate in a terroristical way. She's not been accused of somebody who has committed murder or attempted murder of any individual. She's not been accused of any crime that will be a state's crime. And you have consistently denied her bail, even though it is not stated in the Constitution of Sierra Leone. Bail is free and cannot be denied 7 times or more consistently back to back. Why? Why? So there are specific reasons why all these things are happening for Zainab Sharif. And people are not actually picturing the picture that they should be looking at. They're looking at something totally different. So we should be looking at this particular issue in the right direction, and the right direction is a stop to our voice. Our tongues are slightly being chopped off slowly for us not to be able to speak. So when we remain silent until 2028, we're going to be expecting possibly the worst situation than 2023. Or what else? So we have to seriously think about this and think about it properly. And now people are saying, oh, well, Zainab for beg. Why? Why would you beg for a crime that you think you did not commit? So you want to be found guilty and you accept and confess to a crime that you don't believe you committed? But let's be serious. Why will we accept saying I me kill when not to me kill? Why will we accept saying I me thief when not to me thief? Why I will go accept say what I say na incitement when not to incitement? Why have I accept that? I mean, we understand the fact say yes, some people might beg because they might think, okay, I get for beg for survive. Okay, I get for beg for make them forgive me. But it's inhumane. It's demeaning. It's actually taking everything that is you out of you. If you've been found guilty of a crime that you actually commit, I understand why you should beg. But why make it for big? I just want to know the reason why make it for big, because sometimes I don't understand why everybody is pleading for, oh, would they beg for Zana made an effort? Oh, would they beg for me and Lisa? Oh, would they beg for me and pardon her? Why? Why do you really have to beg for her to be pardoned? Did you believe, say, he commit the crime? If you believe, say, he not commit the crime, let we fight for make it get justice instead of we fight for make them beg for making them release her. No, we cannot be begging for her to be released. We should be begging for her to have justice. That's what we need. That's possibly what will be the best for Zainab. If anybody they rally around, they should be rallying around everybody for make we seek justice for her. Because if we don't seek justice for her and everybody is pleading on her behalf, and then they release her, justice hasn't been prevailed. And that should be our primary focus here. Because if it happens to Zainab, it can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. What's a magical? We don't see them. It don't happen before. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, consistently. And what's going to happen? Then they beg. Then they go there and beg. Then they go there and beg. They ask them for the public pardon. Oh, I'm sorry for what I mean say. I mean get pissed off. I'm not being happy about it. So I apologize to whoever I don't offend for making them forgive me. I'm not going to repeat them again. That is very demeaning for an individual that did not commit any crime. But it's a choice that you might want to make. It's your choice. It's definitely and entirely up to you. If you choose to make that choice to beg, that's fine. But if she's refusing to beg, I don't think people should force her to beg. If she doesn't want to apologize because she believes she hasn't done nothing wrong. Compared to what people and don't say, and nobody got arrested for that, that's the agenda we should be pushing forward. If we seriously think about fixing the problem, we should be facing the problem heads on. We should not be going around the problem and finding shortcuts. No. If you go for take we 6 months for make Zainab get justice, so be it. If you go for take we 1 year, 2 year, 3 year until in serving time, that's what she has been destined to go through. She will not pass it. She will go through it. Will that make her a better person? Maybe. Would that make her not a better person? Maybe. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the future holds for her, or for her career, or for whatever she might want to do in the future. 4 years, it looked like for say long. But honestly speaking, I will not want to go in prison for something that I haven't done. And you expect me to come and apologize to say sorry for something that I haven't done. We don't see people that don't serve life sentence or they're not in a death row list for over 10, 15 years. And they still deny the fact that they did not commit that crime. Until some of them have been proven innocent. Maybe after 40 years on death row. After 20 years on death row. After 30 years on death row. And these are people who are going through that death row sentence based on evidence against them in the court of law. Also behind the scene, eyewitnesses confession for say yes now you are see. False implication. False description. Corroborative story by what the police say and by the witness we say is see. People have suffered behind bars for decades. And when God said they need to die, they will not die. They're not free. A lot of them in America, we've been there under death row for crimes that they did not commit 40 years ago, for crime that they did not commit 30 years ago, for crime that they did not commit a couple of years ago. Because they refuse to apologize. They refuse to accept the fact, say they are guilty where they are not guilty. So that is what we should be pushing for. Let Zainab get justice. If Zainab commits a crime and then the court of law, salon, the judiciary get the bold man for say yes, we sentence you for 4 years, then we know how the judiciary now acts in Sierra Leone, which has been that's my biggest problem all the time in Sierra Leone. That's my biggest concern. The judiciary is one of the most corrupt institutions in Sierra Leone. And I don't say this for years and years and years, but people are not paying attention. Now the judiciary, they affect business in Sierra Leone. Now the judiciary, they affect the law in Salon. Now the judiciary, they affect the political dispensation in Sierra Leone. Now the judiciary now is responsible for all the problems that happen in Salon. Not the government, all the politicians, them all, and the judiciary. Because if an individual gets a case and you don't get money for pay for justice, you go to jail. You know how many people in the South and Apademba Road waiting for inch? Where they wait for case for the past 5 years, then still in Apademba Road. For why? Because they say thief or inch. Where policeman arrest them for thief or inch, then can't go to a police station from police station Apademba Road. If they wait for case for me, then calling case. Take you're not calling case yet. 4 years, 5 years, some even more. For orange. Orange, wait, thief. And you call that a system that works? You call that a judiciary that works? Where police go kill you, no investigation, no they go against the police for disciplinary complaints against that police day. Now both case. Let's be honest, we don't see an unbeat lawyer almost to death. Nothing not come out of date. You call that a judiciary that works? So if the judiciary can be fixed, the problem of Sierra Leone can be fixed. Otherwise, we waste time. We seriously waste. Even what they talk to, now we talk no more, now we waste time for. Somebody sent me today, say, oh, T-boy, I'm tired. I'm like, why? Because Boku people don't boycott sooner. I'm like, yeah, but why? Because they are tired. Why? Because when I don't talk, but nothing that happen. So they have given up. They don't even want to listen to you guys no more. And it's true. It's so true. We cannot be in denial of that. It's facts. People don't lose interest. Because we don't talk, nothing not happen. So they have lost hope. They have lost interest. They have lost trust in the system. Not in us, but in the system. Because we've been talking about the system for the past 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 years, and the system is still just sinking. How then go believe what they listen to you all the time? They're tired themselves. Okay, they can't spend 2 hours for listening to SGM media. Okay, then they can talk. They will talk, make sense, it will make sure everything is right, it's fine. Okay, you guys are right. Nothing happens. Nothing happens to effect that change of all we're talking. People have different ways of how they're doing things. People have different ways of how they relate to the problem they would get at Salon. But guess what? Nothing changes. But some of us will not stop talking. Also because we get time, also because we have the resources, also because we feel say we can do it. But somebody have to talk. Somebody have to keep talking. Because when we decide to stop talking, it means we don't fail and then don't pass. Because who said they don't pass? Now that's not the outcome of the thing that we need to perpetuate, so that we will stop talking. Are we going to give in to that? Are we going to accept it? Are we going to say, yes, okay, we don't tell, look who's left for talk? Are we going to say, well, okay, not to me business again, me, I don't tell, we're going to salon, go to me business, come full. It comes back and haunt you. It comes back and bites you, and it will bite you harder than you think. Harder than you think. So let's look at what the judiciary is doing. The role of the judiciary in Sierra Leone. Now it makes Salon de like so. Whether we agree or we don't agree. Lawyers are not telling me categorically, clearly say, but if you go Salon, then all you would they left you for so because no go perfect for you. We will go beg for you now. Like, really? Lawyer, they tell me say we will go beg for you. For me, then release you. Would they go beg for you? Not only would they go defend you, would they go beg for you? Wow. You tell me who's lawyer in Europe or this part of the world where they tell you, say, they go beg for you for me to release you. If they ask you for, did you commit a crime? No. Why? Where were you? If they interrogate you first, where they go represent you. And then it go defend you based on the information where you get. Yeah, they go beg for you. It only beg for you on one grounds. If you have accepted that you committed the crime, then it go plead on your behalf for a lower sentence. Why? Because you have accepted that you have committed this crime. So most of the time, what lawyers do in this part of the world, they will call you and ask you, did you commit this crime? Now you do. If now you do and talk, so what would they go do in a court? Would they go plead on your behalf and ask for a lower sentence? Simple. If now you do. And if they don't interrogate you, there are lots of evidence against you for corroborate the police or prosecution witness for say yes, now you commit this crime. They will bring in all those evidence to you and say, bro, these are all the evidences against you. And this crime is really directing to you. Did you do it? They will bring in all the evidences in front of you and tell you, say, there is DNA, there is video, there is CCTV evidence, there is living evidence, there is people on the crime scene that can testify to say it's you. These are all the evidence against you. Did you commit this crime? That now you defensive lawyer, they talk to you so now. If they ask you for justify and make sure say yes. Now you or not to you commit this crime. And if you accept to answer that you commit this crime, mean yes, now you. Then you ask, what can we do? Yes, it's me. Can you plead on my behalf? Okay, yeah, we'll go plead on your behalf and then we ask for a lower sentence. The courts can deal with that easily. And again, if the crime where you commit is that bad, the judge will have to decide whether it will reduce your sentence based on the fact that you have accepted the guilt to say, yes, you committed this crime and you have had remorse about doing it. It depends how serious the crime is. Maybe, just about maybe, they will reduce your sentence. If you're supposed to serve life, they will give you half the term. And then they will say, okay, then you still sentence you to life, but probation in the next couple of years. If you get good behavior, they will reduce it. That is how the system works here. It's not the same in Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone, judge don't even ask yourself, me man, this case is tough, it get for cost you beaucoup money. First, now in the begin first. Hey, man, this case is tough, this not beaucoup money case this. You get money? Because you know why? We'll get for go bribe the judge. We'll get for go talk to the judge first. How? If you see them begin to say, we'll get for go talk to the judge, or we'll get for go talk to the police then first for me and do up this case. It's all about bribery. So they will ask you first if you have money. Meanwhile, if you not get money in this case, you go talk for, you go ask for feds. If a lawyer on this part of the world say to you, this case is going to be difficult to find because we need to find corroborative evidence. We need to find scientific evidence for prove you not guilty. We need to find DNA evidence. We're not going to put you present in that particular crime scene. It will now cost money because then they go hire a powerful DNA experts where they come and analyze the scene. If not cyber crime, then they go find an expert in cyber crime. We go come for defend you, say you did not commit that crime because you were not at that particular crime scene at that point in time. And you go able for look at the forensic cyber crime details for pinpoint you wherever you were at that particular time when this crime was committed. That is how much it's going to cost you because they're going to look for the best of the best and it will cost you money for me and do forensic detailing for find you not guilty or for make sure say you not in that scene day for proof say you were not there. It is not you. You were somewhere else. They need to find a forensic evidence. We go deeper beyond what's in the average policeman and investigator need to do. That's how much it will cost you money when your lawyer says We have to prove that you did not commit this crime. It is going to cost us money to bring in the best experts for can defend you. It's not the same in Sierra Leone. Salon where the lawyer can meet you talk, say, hey, me man, you get this land, not you get the land. Me man, me land this. Okay, you get money. If you get money, they'll go win this case. If you not get money, you'll win the case. So how? Will they go begin bribe for the policeman for me to make fake documents, for me to change the statement? Will they go begin bribe the witness for make it? That's what happens. Very corrupt judiciary system that operates in Sierra Leone. And we all know that. I don't say we don't know. We know for sure. Say that's how the system works. You will then commit crime against. If you not take them, now you back, then they go put in jail. And we don't see that don't happen. Not once, not twice, every other day in Sierra Leone. That's how the judiciary operates. So the judiciary, now the biggest arm of government, we make Salondi Usaide so. You know how many people don't make incitement statements against individuals or people on the opposition or other stakeholders than within the community in Sierra Leone? We get away with that. Not even a question. Just because they are in the just because they're in the ruling party. So it means they have a free pass for say anything where they want for say. Above case. Yeah, free pass. They get free pass to anything they want for say against any individual. Because they need a power. Anti-corruption they hold nobody past the one they waiting at the opposition. Or the one they not they support in government institutions there. That is nobody in the whole. Crimes against any individual waiting at the opposition, now crime may they go far against you. Crime against anybody waiting at the ruling party, now crime when they even take 2 days against you. Now one game phone call, then they kill the case. That's the judiciary that we're living in today in Sierra Leone. Yes, you go say, now so you did, now so APC they do. But guess what? It wasn't as bad as it is. Even if it may exist self doing APC days, it wasn't blatant. It wasn't really that obvious. People were actually taking their time to go to court and defend people. People were actually making the effort to go to court and listen to the court system that operates and works. I'm not going to tell you say me perfect then. No. Nope. But it's not as bad as it is right now. You go to police, you not get case. You go to court, you not get case. You go to government institutions, you not get case. You go to civil societies organization, you not get case. Nobody has a case anywhere. Nobody. For as long as you're not in the corridors of power, you don't have a case. It's always a case against you. Whether you are the perpetrator or the victim, is always the case against you. As long as you're not in the corridors of power. So before we make all this excuse of pleading for Zainab Serif, made them figure, made them left arm, we have to think about it. Did she commit a crime? 1. Is the judgment against her equivalent to the crime that they said she committed? 2. What have been the decisions of other individuals that have made similar kind of statements over the past couple of years? See where the questions are now going to. So now you now think, why would for actually beg for Zainab, we will know for say not commit a crime? So if there is any movement being formed, any organization pending, any petition that is ongoing or have started, I think their agenda should be primarily focusing on justice rather than pleading for Zainab to be released on compassionate grounds, because I don't think that will justify her release. I don't think that will justify the judiciary to be able to get away with some of the crimes that they are committing, because somebody should even be jailing them as well. Because they're just doing things the way they believe or the way they think or the way they've been told. Not by the constitution that governs us as Sierra Leoneans. No. So we have to seriously think about this. We have to seriously pay attention to the fact that the judiciary has been one of the biggest mess in our country, and we need to deal with that. If we don't deal with the judiciary, then we are doomed. When I say doomed, if the chief minister, former chief minister, David Francis, make a book and include inside that book, he make a statement for say, if we deal with the same system where he was part of for the next couple of years to come, Sierra Leone is going to be backward for 100 years. If we continue with the same system of government that we have now. Now we know that. Now we realize that. Where he was part of the system, and he was part of the system that were implementing the wrong thing against individuals that are in the opposition. He don't make statement that we know to statement that we supposed to be made by somebody of his stature. Now we realize, say, if we continue with this same system, we will be doomed for 100 years. It's a shame. Because these are the same people who are perpetrating injustice against the opposition, against other civilians, against other individual civilians that are not supportive of their government. Why should that be? Why should people not have a right to their opinion or choose who they want to support? You know how many members of my family are in the SAPP? It's my choice to be what I want to be. You know how many members of my family members that are in APC? It's their choice to be what they want to be. I don't have to hold them accountable for that. I don't have to hold them responsible for the fact, say, they make a decision of which they want for support. So if Zainab chooses now again for support APC and he gets a party carrying card, APC should stand by her. It's their duty to stand by her and defend her. But if you know they carry party card, you know belong to the party structure for proof, say yes, she's a member, then APC don't have a role to play in her arrest. The role where APC will play in Zainab's arrest is for make sure that she's a civilian and she should be given justice at any given point in time, because that should be prevailing to every civilian and not just individuals that are involved in politics. So we therefore be very mindful, very, very mindful of how we attack the situation, because Zainab is no exemption to anybody. Zainab is Zainab. Zainab will always be Zainab. Zainab is going to be Zainab. She will continue to be difficult and stubborn because she believes she did not commit a crime and she has no right to apologize on her own terms and conditions that she has been going through all these months. Let me support her and say, yes, we will support you, Zainab, because we know for say you innocent. Let us support them because we believe, say, yes, Zainab will support you for this particular crime because we know for say that advantage and seize against you. That's what we should be doing. And don't expect APC for pull people and for go protest against for Zainab. This is not their duty. We expect civil societies to run the streets of Freetown and set up a group and set up a protest for men protest on behalf of Zainab's child. If they believe, say, it don't fall short of the law because he commits a crime. If they believe, say, na advantage and take over him, if they believe, say, the injustice is too much on civilians of Sierra Leone, then yes, they should come out and support Zainab. If they don't believe it, then they should stay in their houses and keep their foods closed. So we got to be very mindful of how they look at the situation. And the situation right now is just very close and similar to the Mohamed Kalon situation. So if we're not able to take with time and actually review all this information that already passed all over social media, and they will begin pick sides, and they will begin support here and left the other side, they will make a big mistake. Massive big mistake. Because again, if the judiciary of Sierra Leone be that sober, Emmanuel Safai Abla is a lawyer, a legal representation from Mohamed Kalon, and you go make you go take a job in no sign contracts. Like seriously? You now the legal representation for this man, and you now the director of NSA, and you they go lobby for make he get a job, and you know make he sign contracts. You know make he sign contract, like seriously, and you supposed for being in lawyer, in legal representative. Come on, let's be honest. Who will take you seriously for representation? I won't. You will not represent me. Because you are my lawyer in the first place. You not make assign me contract because you feel say something is going to go wrong. Or you never for justify without for pay me. And even when you justify without for pay me, it becomes like a storytelling thing. And then get for pay me 8 months after. Let's be serious. If we have a strong judiciary system, that mandate for don't sign contracts or you not take the job in the first place. Because you not have any reason to work without a contract. You go hire a foreign coach, you bring and coach the Sierra Leone national team, and you not make a sign contracts. You go do that day? No, you won't. Because you get for sign terms and conditions of what he can do. So if you not sign terms and conditions, that means you don't get a free ticket for do whatever he wants to do because he's not governed by anything. You can't hold him accountable when things go wrong. You can't hold him accountable for any mistakes based on you don't make on the way because he hasn't got a contract. He's a free man doing whatever he wants to do because he hasn't got a contract. So it's equally the same to Mohamed Kalon. It should not be any different because he's taking the capacity of a professional individual where they can manage this Sierra Leone national team. He should have a contract for that job. But when we judiciary, the work, the system is so polluted. Now make you get that kind of job there without a contract because it is very unlikely for that to happen in Europe. You mean the national team of Ghana, we don't go sign that, I think a Spanish guy safe or Portuguese guy. They're not going to get a contract. They're increase. They're not crazy. So they're going to get a contract. Because that contract, they bind them, then they actually connect them to the country where they don't go sign that deal with. They don't so. So let's not push the foot around and thinking, oh yeah, it should be done. They're not done do ahead, they're not done do and that. So just move on no more. No, we can't move on because some of these things has to be done properly. And when they are not done properly, that's why he got sacked impromptu. Because he hasn't got a contract. You feel say if you may get contract with a sack and you pay him off, they take the SLFA to court. They take the SLFA to disciplinary committee of FIFA for unfair dismissal. Because there is no reason and evidence for his dismissal. But guess what? There is no contract. You have no case. You don't have a case. I worked with somebody a couple of years ago, and guess what? The person wants to move on, and he comes to me and say, "Oh, T-boy, I need all my content." Like, really? Hey, we're not to that the contract seal. And then he said to me, "Sorry, we don't have a contract, T-boy. We never signed contract." I said, "Okay, find a problem there. I have nothing to say to you no more." That's the end of the conversation. And I say nothing again because you don't already dismiss the fact, say, we don't have a contract. So why should I talk to you? And I got nothing to say to you again. And that is exactly what SLFA has done. Mohamed Kalon get contract where he signed with we club so we can sack him. We not even need for contract. We not even need for inform anybody. We don't want you again. We sack you. We change you. We don't want you again. Why? Because you don't have a contract that we signed with you. We are not binded legally together to work. Now, gentleman's agreements with the work on right now, there is no legal document to tie us to this contract. That you should bring in X, Y, and Z for this term of your service. Because if you count contract, in contract mean for involved in backroom staff. And if in contract involved in backroom staff, then we don't highlight who are the backroom staff. If they mean for need verification of approval of in backroom staff, then mean for don't do them before they sign the contract. If the contract get for delay, pending investigation for approval of in backroom staff, it go delay. If you don't need for delay, they will sign the contract here and there. So these are all the facts. But if you don't have all those criteria that has been ticked, then they can just wake up one morning and say, "Oh, we don't want you again." It's like 0 hours contract. It's 0 hours contract. So if I give you 2 hours, you for gladly. Because it is a 0 hours contract. You basically don't have any hour on your contract. So if I give you an hour, you should say thank you. If I give you 4 hours, you should say thank you very much. If I give you 8 hours, you should say thank you very, very much. Because you are entitled to 0. That's why the law needs to change for 0-hour contract, because it is not a contract that actually binds you to that institution. You don't really have a job. You don't. So a 0-hour contract is the same as not signing a contract. So it doesn't make much of a difference. You are on 0 hours contract, it means you are not on contract. You're not. The only reason why you sign that document is to make you feel safe within that environment, but you are not on contract. That's what it is. So all this saga and drama really unfold within our communities in Sierra Leone and in the UK is primarily down to our own negligence, our own careless situation that we just take things for granted. It is our obligation to look at things properly before we agree to work, or we don't. Because failing to do so means you're putting yourself and your business at risk. And that particular risk can be extremely high. And if the risk is high, who loses out when things go wrong? It's you. It's you. It's primarily on you. It's your total responsibility of not gaining anything from that contract. We've suffered the consequences of that years and years and years back. And even with some of the work that we do every other day, the private jobs that we do, if we don't have a contract, we don't have an agreement, I write stuff down of the requirement that you're asking for, because that will be my reference point when I want to say to you, well, sorry, we did not agree on this, we did not agree on that. We'll sign contracts, we'll send you your invoice, and we'll tell you exactly what you're paying for. So if you have received any invoice from us, the invoice will tell you details of what you're paying for prior to the discussion that we have. So that serves as a living document of the services that we're going to provide and the services that you're paying for. So if we breach that invoice, it means we haven't adhered to our invoice. We either have to give you a refund, or we have to find a way how to possibly supplement or subsidize for any further contract that we're going to have with you, or find a way to give you back your money for something that we didn't do. So these are all binding things. But guess what? We live in a country that has system. Is it the same system that runs in Sierra Leone? Maybe, maybe not. That's a huge question that somebody should answer to. And who will answer to that question is the judiciary. It's the prime responsibility for the judiciary of Sierra Leone to make Sierra Leone safe. Not a politician, the responsibility that. It hasn't got nothing to do with the politician. It has a lot to do with the judiciary than the politicians. Because if the judiciary is not able to govern some of the legislative arms of government, then they should not exist. They shouldn't. Because the judiciary mainly make and break the fabrics of any institution. We see what happens in America. When ICE go on a rampage and begin commit crime left, right, and center, what happens? The system kicks in. The system kicks in automatically to protect individuals. Because they have a system. And you cannot just come and flout the system for the rest of your life. You can't. There are loopholes in the system that governs, that tells you what to do and what not to do. If you fail to adhere, you yourself will be prosecuted. You yourself will be prosecuted and taken to court for disobeying what the Constitution stands for. So disobeying what the system stands for. And in America, it's even worse because every state has their own rules and regulation. It's not the same in all the states. Not like a race along one law. In America, it's different. So you can commit a crime here, but you will not be able to commit that same crime in another state because the rules and regulation differs from the states in between. So they have systems, and those systems works. You might take advantage of it, but it will kick in and it will take full effect and it will stop you from doing what you want to do. Because it's an automatic setup that is already there. Somebody just needs to invoke it and it works straight away. Somebody just needs to press the button to say, it is here, Let's press the button. And when they do press the button, it becomes a policy statement. It becomes a rule. It becomes a judgment. It becomes a law just by pressing the button. So if you have done it before and the button hasn't been pressed, when they press the button, it automatically becomes a crime if you do it again. Because they have a system that works. If it is not in the system, they go and have a quick meeting and set aside bylaws, reviews of the laws that has to change based on the situation that they find themselves. If it is not on the books, they find a way to implement it in the book and pass it as a law. Automatically it kicks in and it works. That's the reason why they have systems. In Sierra Leone, there is no system. Okay, let me take it back. There is system, but the system does not work because people are actually making it not to work. So the whole Zainab Sheriff saga should have been dealt with long time ago. But people took it for granted. Body speaking is too rude. When I posted her flyer for the first time to run a campaign about the injustice against her, people were messaging me, inboxing me. Oh, T-boy, where will they make goodness? Let me talk to him. When I don't know for fetch for him. Whose goodness he make? Whose goodness he make? He caused any individual personally? No, she didn't. I didn't hear it. So, if you know like her, you know like her. I like her mites. Whether you like it or you not, you take it. When you take it, sorry, it has a sweet and bitter side of it. I like her mites. So, not so all man get for like him. Not all man get for like you. Not all man get for like. So, if she's on your bad card, fine, no problem. But look at the positive side of things. Look at the injustice. Then you look at the crime when they say commit. Because did she commit a crime? But if she did not commit a crime, look at the injustice. And that injustice is what I think we should be focusing on. Whether the sentence is commensurate with the crime that she committed, whether the sentence is biased, whether the sentence not supposed to be a sentence, whether she did not commit a crime to be given such sentence. That is what we should be looking at. We should be able to call lawyers that we're so-called supposed to be lawyers, then we know the system. For able to sit there and say, that's not a crime. Okay, and even if that is a crime, it's not a state crime that will put the state at risk because she's not making any accusation of the current government. She's making an accusation of 2023 as a reference point for 2028. If voting happened so 2023, it happened back 2028, and then found those people guilty, they should kill them and their family. It's 2028. Not 2023, 2024, 2025, or 2026, so depends. So 2028. So 2 years to come. Will the situation be the same 2 years to come? Nobody knows. Will the situation be worse 2 years to come? Nobody knows. So that is primarily how we should be looking at this situation instead of us looking at it from a personal angle. Because we will be biased if we look at it from a personal angle, meaning I don't like this girl. Meaning this begin to fit here where you took pass mark. Meaning, well, they miss some. Well, I've said that at some points. But so if we're ready for be honest to ourselves, if we're ready for be genuine to our thoughts and opinion, we should be able to fight the cause of Zainab Sheriff based on injustice and not to follow we beg for and for me and release them, because I totally disagree with that. So if there are petitions being put together for people to sign up to, please do sign up to them because it's very important for us to have the numbers, and those numbers will be very much effective when it comes to defending the rule of law, when it comes to defending the constitution, when it comes to defending some of the things that are being perpetrated against civilians in Sierra Leone. Otherwise, we are not going to make any progress in what we think we're doing. And we're not going to have for talk. We're not going to have for highlight some of these concerns. We're not going to have for make people and not say these are some of the things that are happening and we need to find a way to put a stop to it. If we get for do by any means necessary, so be it. So be it. But we can't sit back and deny the fact, say, this is injustice. It is not personal. If you have a personal grievances against Zainab, put it aside. Think about the injustice. Think about whether she did commit a crime. Think about the sentence being given her, whether it's justifiable to the crime that they've accused her for. And let's fight a cause that is meaningful. Not so just for fight a cause because you're for part of the background going and jump on it. Say, oh yeah, now for free Zainab. Let's think about some of the issues then where they highlight. Let we see whether we're able to rationally fight from those angles. Because if we decide to do it otherwise, it's not going to make any difference. And begging should not be on the card. Because we beg for him, we in our for beg, she will not appreciate it at all. She should be released because the judge passed a wrong judgment. So somebody get for review that judgment and possibly look at them back again twice. Maybe for taking to the higher authority. I don't know whether they have appealed on that sentence or not by representation. But if they haven't, I think they should appeal it because it is not justifiable. They should be able to fight it as much as they can fight it. And then they should be able to seek justice for her. That is the primary focus. So if we're able to do that, they're fine. But I would like to stop here so far and say thank you to everybody that's been watching. And I want to say thank you to TikTok. I want to say thank you to Facebook. And I want to say thank you to YouTube for all their contributions online so far. And definitely, we appreciate the fact, see, you guys can make comments and suggestions even after the program done. So we're able to come back to them, watch them, and possibly reflect to them on the next show. We will be sometime next week. Again, this is SGM Media. Anything can happen at any given time. Things can change like a hair. Things can change overnight. Things can change anytime. We'll be able to come and talk to her and bring count on our live broadcast. But you have to make sure that you follow us online, either on Facebook, on YouTube, or on TikTok, so that you be able to get access, forget the update that we will get for bring Antona. Over the Ramadan period, we've been highlight say we go do a tribute show on Steady Bongo. May his soul rest in peace. Because we don't do a lot of stuff the way we get on the TikTok page. It's about going back to nostalgia days of old salon music performed by the musicians. Then we getting sung in the UK. So what we don't do over the past couple of months now for projects, almost all the recording of those artists in various different venues, then we don't perform, and we showcase them now, and is making a huge impact within the entertainment industry for the Gen Z. Then we possibly don't see the artists they also perform live, and they find them very interesting for see them in live performances, not in musical videos. So for that reason, we don't say we do a tribute show for Steady Bongo. We go run for maybe like a week, or they play almost all the video, then all the performances that we don't can do now London where we cover, and sometimes maybe we'll get some of the performances that we do in our salon we also we don't cover. So what we do on TikTok is primarily our contents and content that we don't film over the past couple of years, and we believe say it don't begin change the way how people then they look at them artists they are, so from different perspective, how then they look then say, oh well, this person don't be Sabian, oh I don't Sabian now, oh this person is still young, oh this person is still good, oh. So we get various different comments them and recommendations of what to do with some of them videos they are, so, and people they say, oh I can't begin to do a show on this artist, but look, we reminisce back in the days. But yeah, that is possible, but we're not sure yet about that at all. But what we're going to focus on this week, now for do a full tribute show of the late Lansana Sheriff, aka Steady Bongo, in performances the way don't count in London. And then after the week long of his tribute show, we also broadcast one of the interviews they will do time, that is SGM Media Studio. We will talk intensely about his historical beginnings and what role he played during the war, and what role he played post-war as well, and what's in the world think about him. So yeah, it will be a tribute week. We will start this week. Hopefully tomorrow we will begin post the video them now TikTok page. So if you're not on TikTok, please try and join us and follow us on TikTok, because now they really do most of we entertainment stuff them. When it comes to uploading videos of various different performances them over the past couple of years, with Sierra Leone-based UK artists. Then we don't do a lot within the Sierra Leone-based in music industry. And also tomorrow we get the buzz with an exclusive interview with Tuba. They come talk about a lot of issues that really happen between herself and her brother in Sierra Leone in King Boss LA. So don't miss tomorrow's interview with Buba JT on the buzz. It is going to be an interesting discussion. So join us tomorrow at 9 o'clock again for another exclusive edition of the buzz. Normally the buzz is on Tuesday, but we realized say we'll have a huge timeline of activities that happen during the week. So we decide for Bring the Boss Cam back again on Thursday. And we see the performance of Jackie Bazzi. Yep! Yesterday, now the boss, and I know he raised a lot of concern about the issues within the industry. And it was a bit personal about so many things that he said. But I think we still have to listen to him and possibly make your own opinion about some of the things that we suggest or we talk about during the interview with Buba JT. So I want to say thank you once more to the Sierra Leone media team behind the scene. And I want to say thank you once more to all of you guys watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and on TikTok. Because I will say we will be back here again tomorrow for the buzz, and we'll be back here for another edition of How Do Go Inside the Republic. But stay tuned, because we might come up with anything of a spectacular of any live performances or any live events we'll get for maybe go live with from now on to the weekend. So don't be surprised if you see anything we pop up now you feed. We get for do with Sierra Leone Media Live. But tomorrow definitely we are live with the buzz with Buba JT and in the interview Tuba, we are the elder sister of LJ. So like I said, it would be nice for make you continue for subscribe to a page and let what you do, because this is all based on voluntary basis, because we're not really being paid for anything that we're doing right now. So basically we're just trying to bring you entertainment in different forms and talk about some of the issues that really affect Sierra Leoneans, them that the diaspora and also in Sierra Leone. So I go say thank you once more, and I appreciate the fact that you guys have taken your time to listen to us and for patiently watch we with me Boku talk. We try for get exclusive interviews by next week. We try for bring the man himself, the man behind the scene, we na Kotojuma Ba. Kotojuma Ba is touring Europe right now. He's engaging himself within the APC community in the diaspora, because we all know what he's going for. And he did para campaign, and the campaign right now look tough, but he's on it. He's doing actively well. He's been talking to stakeholders in various different capacities, and I believe say we get some now also next week for Can't Talk to Me live. Another How Do Go Inside the Republic. That is going to be an exclusive interview with Kotojuma Ba na the hot seats with myself, and we will forget a discussion. But anyway, I need to give too much hard time. But if you tower normally give serious hard time, because again, no scapegoats. No allow anybody for take advantage of the platform. We take advantage of you first. So thank you once more for joining us, and don't forget to join us tomorrow for another edition of The Buzz. So until next week, have a wonderful weekend. If you don't get to see me again, but I definitely believe you will see me back here on Saturday for another exclusive. But please subscribe and join us in all our various social media platforms, so you'll be able to have that notification. So from myself and on behalf of the team behind the scene, I will say thank you very much and have a good night. Bye-bye.